Ready?
On a clear day, rise and look around you, and you'll see who you are. On a clear day, how it will astound you that the glow of your being outshines every star you'll feel part of, every mountain, sea, and shore. You can hear from far and near a world you've never heard before. And on that clear day, you can see forever and on a clear day, rise and look around you, and you'll see just who you are. On a clear day, how it will astound you that the glow of your being outshines every star you'll feel part of, every mountain, sea, and shore. You can hear from far and near a world you've never heard before. And on a clear day, on that clear day, you can see forever and ever and ever and evermore.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I'm Chris Klosterman, and I get to be your platform chair this morning. Woo-hoo. Thank you. Fan club member and president. Thank you. So yes, good morning and welcome to our Unity Center of Cedar Rapids. We appreciate your presence here in our spiritual home and the energy you bring to this community. Thanks for joining us. And we also welcome our live streamers and invite you to know that we are connected heart to heart and soul to soul. Please know that we are here to support you on your spiritual journey. Let's take a moment to sit in the silence and become present in this space. And please join me in our opening statement. There is only one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotent.
All right. Let's stand and sing, I am free, I am unlimited. Sorry, we're going to do it again. It's... One, two. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. I am free, I am forgiven. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am forgiven. Right now, right now. I am free, I am forgiven. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am forgiven. Right now, right now. I am free, I am rejoicing. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am rejoicing. Right now, right now. I am free, I am rejoicing. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am rejoicing. Right now, right now. I am free, I am rejoicing. Right now, right now.
And now, we would like to invite our children to join our youth and family teachers. Barb and Brianna in the nursery, Linda and Brian with our youth, and Laura is with the young adults.
Oh. I'm sorry, we've got some sound issues going on here that we're trying to resolve, and it's distracting me. Sorry. Is it the piano? Okay, sorry. We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God. Oh, my good is everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Oh, my good is everywhere, manifesting now. Over here, over there, within, without, everywhere. Thank you, God, for my good, manifesting now.
All right. I was going to say, don't worry about any sound issues. I just read that my kids are young adults. Sorry. That's it. I'm just going to go sit down now. Oh, we've got some announcements. Okay, no, not quite yet. So most importantly, if you are a guest today, welcome and thank you for joining us. We have information packets at the welcome table in the foyer out there. If you would also like to add your name, address, and email to the guest book at the welcome table, we will add you to our electronic newsletter. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again. Our guest speaker today is Ruth Geary, our office administrator. Ruth will be talking about the most recent part of her life journey and how she decided to move through these events using faith and unity teachings. And we have our guest musician today with us, Eric Yoakum. He's joining us for the first time as a guest musician. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The Earth Care team is meeting in the strong room after service. So there's that. And then, yay, thank you, woo! There's a lot of these. Most of them are about a sentence, so we're going to kind of click through. So, no, not trying to move past the Earth Carrier team. They're important, but they have a meeting in the strong room. Then, moving on, the next title for the Thursday morning book study is Living Buddha, Living Christ by Thich Nhat Hanh, which is available now in Sacred Grounds and Books, our bookstore right back there. This discussion group will start again on Thursday, March 7th. Sign up at the welcome table to be sure you receive updates about the book study. Next week's speaker is Reverend Glenda Walden. Reverend Glenda has been a student of truth for many years, a successful minister, spiritual education teacher, and therapist. In her newest venture, she is the creator of innovative approaches to manifesting, providing tools for becoming all you are meant to be through manifestation coaching, bioenergetic rebalancing, and spiritual counseling. In addition, join Reverend Glenda at 9 a.m. on Saturday, March 9th, right after her talk for a workshop, Connecting to Presence Through Creative Expression. This workshop includes movement and mantras, 2 multimedia art creations, meditation, and creative writing, all in a safe, non-judgmental space. The cost is $35. It's limited to 10 participants, and we can scan the QR code on the screen or the poster in the lobby to purchase your tickets. And just a quick correction there, I said after the service, it's Saturday, March 9th. Then she speaks on Sunday, so just to kind of get the order of things right. Join Susan Liddell and Jan Griffith to learn more about Unity's interpretation of Lent. They will be offering conversations based on the new Lenten booklets every Sunday, continuing through March 24th from 9 to 9:30 a.m. in Sacred Grounds and Books. In addition, dovetailing right alongside that, if you want to learn more about Unity Foundations or become a member of Unity CR, save the date for the upcoming Exploring Unity class, Saturday, April 6th and Sunday, April 7th. If you are interested, please fill out the yellow registration form on the welcome table. For more information, talk to Susan Liddell at your convenience. The Spirit Choir is beginning rehearsals for the Easter Sunday service. They will meet each Wednesday evening from 7 to 8:30 p.m. from March 7th through March 27th. Please talk to Nina if you wish to join or have questions. Did you know that on September 14th, 1924, Unity Center of Cedar Rapids was founded by Goldie Cook Richardson? Her photo is in the foyer. 100th anniversary shirts are available for order. Scan the QR code on the screen or see the bookstore cashier. Lisa can also help you. We have long sleeve, short sleeve, V-neck, and polo options. Tumblers are also in stock in the bookstore. If you have a prayer request today, you can join our prayer partners, Vern and Audrey, in the prayer room. Thank you very much. All right. Please join me in our statement of purpose. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We gather to create an experience of spirit. At Unity CR, we offer practical teachings that empower abundant and meaningful living. Meeting you right where you are, we endeavor to provide a variety of ways to support your path of spiritual living. Our mission is to provide spiritual awareness and share the wonder and joy of God's love.
Today is the third Sunday of Lent, and our reading starts with Jesus let go of worry, also known as fretting. The Bible implores us to fear not some 365 times, and Jesus brought the same message, don't worry. Most familiar is the Sermon on the Mount, where he expounds on this idea at length. Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, what you will drink, or about your body, or about what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow, nor reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? And can any of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your span of life? The key to letting go of worry that Jesus taught is to trust. Speaking as the Christ, which is the divine spirit within all of us, Jesus said in Matthew 11:28 through 30, "Come to me, all you that are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." As Jesus said goodbye to his disciples after the Last Supper, he repeatedly assured them, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. Believe in God, believe also in me." We see Jesus letting go of worry in his final week, riding into Jerusalem, knowing that the authorities were plotting against him, waiting quietly for his arrest at Gethsemane, letting Pilate and Herod grapple with his fate. We can't be sure of what was in Jesus' mind, but we know when we are able to live in Christ consciousness, which Jesus said is available to all of us, we find the peace that passes for understanding.
So Eric is going to do one of his original compositions. I'm going to invite the choir members up to help back him up. And while they're doing that, Carl, can we just do a quick sound check around? You figured it out? Oh, good.
Was it the bass player? Yeah, it was the drummer.
Don always smiles.
I was breathing, feeling my heartbeat, hoping that it's okay. I was drinking, yeah. Was this really living? Paranoia setting in when I cried. Now I'm praying for a brighter day, 'cause I can. Now I'm praying for a brighter day, 'cause I can. Now I'm praying for a brighter day, but I can't seem to do this alone, no, without God. No more drifting. Where has the rain gone? I don't know, but now my heart has a home. The road is glistening. It's a new beginning. Now I'm looking up and found the light within. Let it shine. Now I'm praying for a brighter day, 'cause I can. Now I'm praying for a brighter day, a brighter day. Oh yeah, now I'm praying for a brighter day. Now I'm praying for a brighter day. But I can't seem to do this alone without love.
So this is the first Sunday of March. And so we're going to do ohms to get us ready to go into meditation. And just wanted to say, every time you chant Om, you make a connection with the eternal vibration that has been there since the beginning of things, and the creative source behind everything that exists. So we'll do 4 ohms, and then we'll be ready to go into the silence.
I invite you to breathe in the words that I'm about to share with you. I am a radiant center of divine love. Divine love is working through me, adjusting all the details of my life. Divine love fills me with joy and health. Divine love helps me to solve all my problems. Divine love is the fulfilling of the law in my affairs. Divine love draws prosperity to me. Divine love protects me from all harm. Divine love abides with me continually and satisfies my soul. Breathe in divine love. Breathe in divine health. Breathe in divine wisdom. For I am a radiant center of divine love. And I ask you to come back into this space knowing that you are filled with divine love, that you are a center of divine love. Amen.
Let's all sing together. Every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a
thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
Good morning. And thank you for sharing your time with me today. I appreciate you all being here. Usually when I speak, it's very structured. I have a beginning and a middle and an end. And this is the third time I've been given the opportunity to speak with you all. First time I spoke about faith, and the second time Laura Mead asked me to talk about the things that I believe. And today I'm going to talk about my life journey over the past 2 years. And I talked a little bit, about this. I don't have a big structure for this like I usually do, because I'm asking you to step into the middle of my life journey. We are eternal beings, and I know this, and I really don't know when my journey began, and I don't know when it will end, because I know I am, as all of you, are points of light in the mind of God. And our journey is to go through and be and become so that we may shine more brightly in the mind of God. I'm going to tell you some stories. In fact, I'm going to tell you 3 of them. My first one is starts in January of 2022. And I'm at home, and I have the flu. Now, I've had the flu over the course of years, and I know what to do. You get out the soda crackers, and you get out the Lipton's black tea, and you make yourself a big pot, and you go about having the flu. And this was really a bad case of stomach flu. I was vomiting, and I had diarrhea, and I was pretty much laid low. Well, on the 3rd day, I got out my stuff, and as a diabetic, you have to keep track of your blood sugars. And so I took my blood sugar, and it was 70, which is not a bad number. This is okay. It's a low normal, but it's okay. And so I thought, oh, goody, I get to eat some chocolate. I get to do something to get it up. And so I eat some chocolate, and I eat some things that are pretty high carbohydrate. I had to be careful because I was still very nauseous. But I was working to get my blood sugars to come up. So a couple hours later, when I thought they probably had come up, they were 60. And I'm like, oh dear, this is not good. And so of course, what do? We call our sister. So I called my sister and explained to her what had been going on with me. And she said, okay, wait just a minute, I'll call you back. Well, I know she was calling my niece, the nurse. And so she calls me back and she says, I'm taking you to the ER. And I'm thinking, this is a lot about nothing. I don't know why I need to go to the ER, but I asked for help, and this is the help she felt she needed to give. So I'm going along with this. All right, we'll go to the ER. I'm still very nauseous, and she says to me, now can you make it downstairs? Because I lived on the 10th floor of Cedar River Tower at the time and had to meet the car down at the bottom in the lobby. And I'm thinking, you are overreacting. Of course I can make it down to the lobby. So I get down there, I put my shoes on, get my coat on, and I, of course, grab a barf bowl because we are still nauseous. And she takes me up to St. Luke's, and they get me in the ER, explain what was going on, and they start giving me fluids. They start taking blood, and I'm thinking, well, okay, I said I would do this, but I think they're just overreacting. And the nurse says, well, I need a urine sample. And I'm saying, okay, where's the bathroom? And she goes, no, we'll ask everybody to leave the room. And I'm thinking, I know when a nurse says no, you better obey. And this was not the first time that a nurse over the next week was going to say to me, no. So, okay, they finally take all of the blood, they get a sample, they do all the things that they do to diagnose me. And the nurse comes in, and I'm chatting away because my sister is there and my niece has finally come, and I'm just talking because I'm kind of a chatty Cathy. And we're talking about family and every other thing. And the nurse comes in and says, you know, your blood sugar is 20. And I'm like, holy crap. I didn't say that out loud, but, you know. And she says, you know, I've never been with a patient who's coherent at 20. And I'm like, so I try to deflect with humor and say something like, well, you're assuming that I always have been coherent. And so my sister turns to me and she says, you're not going to die, are you? And I said, no, although I really declared, I didn't just say, I declared, no, I'm not dying. So they come in and they say, we're admitting you, and you are in kidney failure. Now, as a diabetic, this has been my big fear, because when you go into kidney failure, this means that you are going to do the dread dialysis. Now, this was an unfounded fear. I never knew anybody who did dialysis. I had never experienced it myself, but this was just an unfounded fear. So they tell me that I'm going to go to my room. Excuse me just a second here. They're going to send me down to the suite where we'll operate and put in a port, and then they'll take me right to dialysis. And I'm like, well, I really have to go with the flow because I can't jump off the table and run away. That is just not an option. So settle down, Ruth, and just go with the flow. And right at this point, my biggest worry was being on the gurney and hurling on the shoes of the attendant. I was really, well, they got me down to the operating suite, and the surgeon was really very nice. He introduced me to everybody, told me who my anesthesiologist was going to be, it was very pleasant. And as they were about to put me under, I said, no, I have to throw up. And so they bring me a bowl, and I'm throwing up. And when I finally stop, they lay me back, and I hear this voice saying, get it out, get it all out. And as I'm being put under, I'm thinking, do they have, like in the surgical drawers, little pom-poms so that they can be like cheerleaders while I'm under? I mean, what was that all about? Aren't drugs wonderful? So I end up back at my room, and I have my port, and they say, we're taking you down to dialysis. Now, I am afraid of a dialysis. I have no good basis for this. So they take me down, and there's this lovely lady at a desk, and she says, oh, you're here for dialysis. I said, yes. And I thought, well, she's not anything to be afraid of. She's very nice. And she says, okay, we're going to put you in this heated chair. I'm like, well, that's not something to be afraid of. I like heated chairs. And then they said, well, we're going to give you a number of blankets because dialysis makes you cold. And I thought, okay, heated blankets. I've got a nice lady who's helping me. I'm in a heated chair. I have nice heated blankets. What have I been afraid of? So then the gentleman who is my nurse comes over and explains what's going to happen and gets me all taken care of, and I engage him in conversation, and he tells me that he's from Texas, and he and his girlfriend came up to Iowa to make a lot of money because dialysis nurses are short in supply. And so I'm thinking, okay, now I'm not afraid of him. In fact, I'm enjoying talking to this very good-looking young man. So we get to the dialysis, they turn on the TV, and here's Ancient Aliens. Now, the lady at the desk keeps coming over, making sure that I really want to watch Ancient Aliens, and I keep assuring her that it's fine. I do enjoy Ancient Aliens. So we're all done. I get up to my room. I'm very tired, and I sleep a little bit, but when I wake up, I feel 1,000% better. Oh my gosh, it was like night and day. And I reviewed the fact that, why was I afraid of this? It was an unfounded fear that I just really needed to let go of. So I did. As I said before, I was in the hospital for about a week, maybe a little longer. And the first few days, I am hooked up to an IV pole, and they're giving me fluids, and they're looking after me, and they're watching my blood sugars and all that good stuff. But internally, I am kvetching. I'm thinking, why on earth am I here? What what is the universe talking to me about? Why am I here? And I had a lot of chaotic thoughts for about 3 days. And finally, our thoughts, our prayers came to me. And I thought, yes, think about what you've been praying these past few days. It hasn't been very constructive. Plus, you haven't given the universe a chance to talk back to you. You haven't given them anything to say to you. You haven't been listening. So, as I said, I was sleeping quite a lot in my recovery. And so, as I would get drowsy and fall asleep, I would think, I have an open heart, I have an open mind, I am listening. I have an open heart, I have an open mind, I am listening. So this is my mantra as I fell asleep. And as I fell asleep, I had, this first night, some wild and crazy dreams. Oh my gosh, and they were extremely vivid. And so not much to do in the hospital, so I'm trying to pick apart the symbols and what they had told me, and I'm like, okay, I give up. So the next time I felt drowsy, I said, my heart is open, my mind is open, I am listening, but you gotta be more plain. I am not getting the message, but I am listening, I'm listening. So as I'm waking up the next time, I hear out in the hallway in the hospital, it sounds like rock and roll. It sounds like somebody has a radio that's really loud. And I'm thinking, don't you know people are recovering? Don't you know it should be quiet? What's going on out there? And then all of a sudden, I hear Mick Jagger singing, and I'm thinking, holy crap, what's happening in the hallway? And as I'm waking up, I realize that it's all in my head. And what he's saying to me is, you can't always get what you want, but you get what you need. And I thought, thank you, universe, and thank you, Mick. I didn't want to be in the hospital, but I needed to be there. I needed to be there to understand that when you have the flu and you're the age I am, you're not 20 anymore, and maybe you should ask for help a little sooner. I needed to know that having dialysis was an unfounded fear. There was no reason to hold on to that fear. I needed to know that I had an underlying condition that we didn't know about, and that was I was anemic, so we could handle that. And then I also needed to have my diabetic medicines redone because they were hurting my kidneys and they weren't doing their job as they should. So I didn't want to be there, but I got what I needed. So we move along a little further into the 2022. And before I got sick and was in the hospital, my niece had asked me to accompany her and spend a week with her at the Mayo Clinic as she finished up her cancer treatment and was having radiation. Now, radiation is something that you have 5 days in a row. And so she had to be there. And fortunately, she found a place at Hope Lodge. And Hope Lodge is funded by the American Cancer Society. And it's a place where people who are undergoing treatment, who don't have the money or don't have the time to be able to go back and forth from their home, this is a place where they stay. And we are very fortunate to be there. Has communal kitchens, and I can talk more about this, but really, this is my niece's story. But what I wanted to say about being at Hope Lodge was that I was able to put one of the 5 principles into practice, and that is meeting people right where they are. These are people who are in serious medical trauma, if you want to put it that way. They were in all stages of treatment. There was a gentleman there who, it's really a very caring place because when I would come down without my niece, they would ask where she was. What was she doing? Why wasn't she with me? And there was a gentleman there in the breakfast room, and he was there by himself. And I said, oh, your friend isn't with you. And he said, no, we're returning to northern Minnesota. And I said, oh, well, he must be in recovery. And he said, no. They've just done all that they could for him. So again, it's the idea that meeting people right where they are and to be a good listener. in our conversations, we're taught to be sort of, and this isn't the right word, but I couldn't think of a better one, competitive. Like I say, I grew up with a Buick, and you say, I grew up with an Oldsmobile. It's a way that we get to know each other. But in this environment, there's none of that. There's no BS. You meet people right where they are. And it was quite the experience. So I can talk more about that, but it's really where my journey and my niece's journey intertwined. So it was good. So then she has finished her treatment, and we have arranged to go to Traverse City, Michigan as a family. My whole family is there, and this is a view from our living room out onto the lake. And we were there the week before, the week before Mother's Day. And so it was really quite nice. And so I'm hanging out, and we're there for a week, and toward the end of the week, I notice I have a bump on my arm. And I'm far away from home, and I'm thinking, well, it's just probably one of those insects that's come out for the spring, and they're just decided to munch on me. So I just think it's a bug bite. So I leave it alone because I don't want to have to go to the emergency room or anything like that. It's just the size of a BB, and it's blanched white, and it looks like somebody took a red felt marker and went around it. So I keep watching it, but we're just a couple days from ending the vacation, so we come home. Well, as any person usually does, when I got home, I picked at it, thinking I could make it go away. It didn't go away, and it didn't look good. It didn't look right. And I have always gone to the dermatologist since I was in my 40s, because as you can tell, I'm very fair, and I've never had a tan in my life. So it was important for me to keep my skin checked. So I called my regular dermatologist, and I said, I've got something that I don't really think is right, and can you get me in? Well, he got me in right away, and he did a biopsy. And the Friday before Memorial Day, I was called, and he said, I wanted to tell you this before the weekend because we've got phone calls to make. And I said, oh, and he said, yes, you have cancer. This was a melanoma, and you have cancer. We work with a surgeon at Hall Perrine, and his name is Dr. Reed, and we're going to make the phone calls for you, and we'll get this all settled. And I said, is there anything I can do? And he said, no, you just have to sit back and relax. Ha. Well, I knew I had to tell my family, but I wanted to tell them in person. And I really was afraid to tell my niece, who had just gone through really a quite severe cancer journey. And I was hesitant about that, but when I told them, they were all really good about it, and they just said, what can we do to help you? And I said, I don't know yet. I'm waiting for calls, and we'll figure out what the plan is when we get there. So on August 1st, I had surgery with Dr. Reed, and after the surgery, he told me that they didn't feel anything in the tissue that they took, and the sentinel node that they took, which is the one of the lymph system that place would drain through, he said, we didn't feel anything there either. And I'm thinking, yippee, we are at, maybe a cancer stage 0 or maybe a 1. Well, he said, we think maybe you're a 1, but we're going to send you off to an oncologist, and they're going to get a bigger view of the pathology, and then we will figure out what to do from there. And I said, okay, well, I'm thinking I'm a 1. I'm a 1. Well, we get there, and I will advise everyone here that if you are going to a medical appointment where you feel like uncertain about what's going to happen to you, take a friend or a loved one with you, because you are not going to be in a place where you're going to be able to remember. You are going to hear, but it's not going to sink in because your emotions are just in turmoil. And my niece was there with me. So he tells me that I am a stage 3C. Now, stage 4 is terminal, so I'm a 3C. And I'm like, okay. And he said, yes, when they looked at your sentinel node, they found travelers. And I'm thinking, travelers? These cancer cells have jumped into little gypsy wagons and they're coming around in my body? But anyway, they found travelers. So the course of, the course of treatment has really grown in the past years. And what they use for melanoma is called a biologic. And what it does is it ramps up your immune system. So the first side effect is fatigue, and that's just to be expected, because your immune system is being told to attack the melanoma cells, that they are being ramped up to do their job. And the course of a treatment is 1 year, and you go every other week for this infusion, and it attacks the cells. Well, it also attacks other cells in your body that are similar to the melanoma cell. And forgive me if I don't say these things right. You can develop pneumonitis, which is an attack of the tissue around the lungs. Cardioendocarditis, I think is how you say it, and that's the sac around your heart. Or you can develop colitis. And that is not a pleasant thing, because that's the side effect I got. So I was able to go through the first 13 and a half treatments with just fatigue, and I was able to keep coming to Unity. I was, Reverend Deborah knew the whole situation, and she knew that I was fatigued, but I was still able to come and be here in the office. The colitis, on the other hand, that was really terrible, because when you have something that you do not have control over your bodily functions, you don't wish to leave the house, you don't want to be far away from a restroom, you don't know, you always try to be prepared, but you don't know what's going to happen. So I ended up with a heavy dose of prednisone, 40 milligrams, which is a lot, and taking Imodium like 3 and 4 times a day. And I also had to have a poop journal. Now, it was because every time I went in, he was going to ask me, okay, how are you doing? What's going on? So yes, I had a log. So when this happened, I then went into Hall Perrine and had infusions of fluids from usually Tuesdays and Fridays every week, because you lose a lot of your fluids and you just can't drink enough to replenish them. So I spent from March to July getting fluids. When I finally got through this, and I'm telling you, it was not fun. It was, my last dose of prednisone was July 4th. And I thought, wow, I am liberated, I am finished, off we go. Well, what I was left with was the fact that my body had not been doing much. I had just basically been very, very set in the recliner. I hadn't really done much. But Hall Perrine has a wonderful program called Thrive. And this is part of their physical therapy and their, he was an exercise scientist that helped me. This was their program for people who have finished their cancer treatments, whether they're in remission or not. And they test you to see where you are in the strength meter and how you might be feeling. And then they set about giving you certain sets of exercises to help you improve your core and improve your stamina. And I'm telling you, this was a godsend. My first evaluation, I thought, sure, I was going to score 0. I thought that was it. I was going to come, and they were just going to say, yep, you're at 0, that's it. Well, much to my surprise, I was at 30. So I thought that was a win right there. So I went through this and completed this, and ended feeling much, much better. I continue to get better. I continue to get stronger. I can't go back and ever complete my cancer treatment because Dr. Wood, who's my oncologist, said 1 dose of this biologic and you will be right where you were in March with the same colitis that you had developed. We would just go right there, and I'm not gonna do that to you. And this was so concerning to him that he talked about how he had lost a patient to colitis because they didn't intervene and they lost too many fluids. So he was very, very concerned about this. But I recovered. Right now, I go every 3 months to have my skin checked. I go every 6 months to have a PET scan, and they light me up with a little radiation, which is kind of fun. So, but I wanted to share today how I approached my cancer treatment and going to Hall Perrine. And I knew I was going to have to tell people that I worked with, but I didn't want them to go, "Oh, what can I say to you? I feel so sorry for you." No, I didn't want that. I wanted to help them approach this in the way I was intending to approach it. When I first was diagnosed, I went to Google and looked up what melanoma was, and because I didn't really know. And the first article I saw was a woman who had posted about her husband who had gotten melanoma, was diagnosed, and died in 6 weeks. And I'm like, no, that's not my reality. So then I thought, well, it would be fun to look to see what color ribbon, because someone in the universe decided that there were colors for every type of cancer. Well, the color for melanoma is black. Now, who wants to wear a funerary ribbon? This is what we wear when we mourn. This is not what we wear. So I decided, after thinking a little bit, that my ribbon has a point of light, a heart of love, and a present of good. And I put these on little cards, and when you opened up the card, it said, "The Spirit of the Lord goes before me, making my way joyful and successful. All things work together for good." And this is how I wanted help and support as I went through this. And I gave this to many people here in the congregation, and I also gave it to the people at Hall Perrine, the receptionists, the people I interacted with, because when I was being treated for cancer, I was there every other week, and you were there for 3 or 4 hours. So I wanted to know that this is how I was approaching it and how I wanted them to think about it. And so this is what I came up with. And I do believe that it helped me, because when I had people come back to me to say, I just kept that on the dash of my car, and then I would think of you when I saw it. Or I kept it on my dresser, and I thought of you when I saw it. So those thoughts, I know, helped encourage me and helped me in going through this. So I really felt compelled to tell you this story because I really felt I needed to go over it again and share it with everybody. And I finally came to the understanding that first we know, we really do know, and then we forget. Something comes along and we forget. And then we remember. And then finally we know on a more deep level. And it's a spiral. And the ancients knew this because these are the oldest pictures that they carved into stone. They knew that we live as spirals in the mind of God. As we move up in the spiral, we become more. So again, I want to thank you for letting me share with you today. I want to thank everybody who helped me through this. And you may not know that you did help, but you did, in maybe small ways, maybe large ways. But I want to say I appreciate all the help and support you gave me as I walked through this. Spirit, as you probably have figured out by now, when we talk, has quite a sense of humor. And so I hope that you will stay and celebrate with me with the latest song that Spirit has sent to me after we say the prayer of protection. So I hope you will stay and join in with me. And again, thank you for allowing me to be with you again.
Very good.
Was it okay?
Yeah.
Eric's using a piano bench to play on the guitar. I hope it doesn't affect the sound.
It was okay. wasn't too much for me to tell you all that we are points of light in the mind of God. Okay. Okay. I'm still shaking. I hope I engaged the audience.
All right. While the ushers are coming forward, we invite everyone to hold their love offering for a blessing. And we invite those of you online to make your contribution at unitycr.org. We bless all offerings, and we bless these baskets and the abundance they will soon receive. We see them as symbols of the potential available to all of us. As we participate in this sacred act of giving and receiving, we give abundantly, we receive thankfully, and give again generously. Join me in our offertory statement. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful.
Oh. Oh, my. There we go. So this is our offertory song for February. It's a new one for us all, but it's fairly, well, if I play it right, it's simple. Here we go. And I am so thankful for every blessed moment, and I live in gratitude. My heart is open, my spirit is rejoicing, and I live in gratitude. I give my thanks to God. 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 And I sing in gratitude. Here we go. I am so thankful for every blessed moment, and I sing in gratitude. My heart is open, my spirit is rejoicing, and I sing in gratitude. I give my thanks to God. 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 Change. I am so thankful for every blessed moment, and I give in gratitude. My heart is open, my spirit is rejoicing, and I give in gratitude. I give my thanks to God. 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 I give my
Freely we give, and gratefully we receive. We dedicate and consecrate these tithes, gifts, and offerings to the will, the work, and the way of the Christ, as it expresses through this ministry of love and service. We also surround these members of our spiritual community who made known their prayer requests with our loving thoughts and prayers. We affirm and know that each person is blessed with wisdom and discernment, health and wholeness, and prosperity in good measure. We release these requests, trusting that all is well. Amen. And now, our peace song.
Let's all stand.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be.
light of God surrounds us.
I am the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am the light of God.
The power of God protects us.
I am the power of God.
The presence of God watches over us.
I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is
Truth and all is well.
Thank you. And now,
We're gonna give it a go.
Whenever you're ready, Ruth.
All right. There are men just right for some kissing, and I'm gonna kiss me a few. There are men don't know what they're missing. Oh, I've got a lot of living to do. And there's wine just right for the tasting. And there's Cadillacs all shiny and new. Gotta move, 'cause time is a wasting. Oh, I've got a lot of living to do. There is music to play, places to go, people to see. Everything for you and me. Life's a ball, if only you know it. And it's all depending on you. You're alive, so come on and show it. Oh, there's such a lot of living to do. There is music to play, places to go, people to see. Everything for you and me. Life's a ball, if only you know it. And it's all depending on you. You're alive, so come on and show it. Oh, there's such a lot of living to do. Okay, let's hear it from you guys. And there's such a lot of living to do. Woo! Thank you. We're all good for a show tune, right? Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And thank you for letting me join in.